A Relax and Write Retreat with Maia Danziger, CPCC. Interesting. Hi, it's Paul Slack. It's Good News Planet. I'm here at Omega Institute. I'm with Maia Danziger. Hi, Maya. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Okay, good. This is really a wonderful, wonderful moment in my life to meet you.
Thank you.
And to hear you, and to hear people in the class here learning how to relax and to write. And so Maya is, I'm sure many people know you already on camera. You've been on Broadway and Soapland and Movie Land and theater and the Happy Land.
Happy Land.
You've been happy doing what you're doing.
I've been very, very, very fortunate. I've gotten to play in the creative realms my whole life.
Uh-huh. And how did that occur for you? Just let's go back just a little bit.
Well,
Fun.
I grew up in New York. My dad was a Broadway conductor. My mom was a painter and a poet. And somebody came up to me on the street when I was 15 and said, "Little girl, do you want to be in a commercial?" So that's how I got my SAG card, and it paid for college. And then, a year later, somebody said, "Little girl, do you want to be in a movie?" So I did my first film, and then I went and trained. I thought, well, maybe there was a career there for me, so I went to NYU School of the Arts in the theater program. And then I got my first Broadway show, and then I was just off and running. So I had a 38-year unbroken career of never doing anything but acting. Television, film. I ran my own theater company for 7 years. It's now in its 21st year in New York, the Actors Company Theater. Very proud of them. I left them when I moved to California. But I did my graduate work as a writer, and something I always did as a hobby on the outside. I've been meditating since I'm 18. And gradually the one bled over into the other, and the teaching of this process, Relax and Write, has really become the focus of my life in the last couple of years.
Well, we're going to talk.
Very fortunate.
Yeah, and we're all fortunate to share your talents and your wealth. The actors.
The Actors Company Theater in New York.
The Actors Company Theater with like John Houseman and Kevin.
No,
Kline?
that was the acting company, which came out of Juilliard.
Sorry.
But this is a theater company. It's a small theater company in New York. It's just celebrated we're in our 21st year.
Wow.
The Wall Street Journal and the New Yorker both called it one of the best small companies in the city. We do really gem-like, beautiful work. My partners who have taken it over since I moved to California have done an exquisite job with it. So look them up, check them out.
And where are they physically? You have a theater in the city?
They produce the main stage productions at the Samuel Beckett Theater on Theater Row.
Okay.
And then we have our own space in the Flatiron District on 19th Street. Where we do workshop productions in these things called salon readings that are sort of fully realized. They're hard to explain. They're wonderful, pared down, fully realized readings of classic plays. Very beautifully done.
So let's go to the class that we're in right here at Omega. We're in July in 2014, actually, July 14th. And tell us how you created this class, and I can by far see the benefits. I just sat in the first moments of the first class, and we went around. Everybody wrote a little bit. First they did a meditation and then wrote some thoughts down for about 20 or so minutes, and then some of the participants got an opportunity to read, and for you to, the nice word here is support their writing. The word critique is not even close. It's not even in the same ball game here. It's all about paying it forwards, inspiring. You are really nice.
Oh, thank you. I'm just reflecting back what I hear on the page. I think one of the reasons I do what I do is I said that my dad was a Broadway conductor, and he had been a very well-known musician when he was young, a child prodigy. And to a large extent, I was raised in a family that believed that you had to be born with a gift, and then you pursued it. For all that my father became a music educator later in his life, he didn't really believe that talent could be taught. I disagree. I think we're all talented. had too many experiences in my own life of finding myself blocked or stuck at a place, and recognizing that if I can put myself back into beginner's mind, if I can recognize the potential that is given to me by the universe, there's no limit to what I can do. I don't say that everybody can go out and become professional and make a living at it. Some of the most talented people in the world don't make a living at it. But what I do teach is creative process. I teach a way of getting out of your own way. Our conscious minds are very critical. They have a real determination of just how far we can go or what we are capable of doing. And our unconscious is unlimited. We have unlimited potential inside of ourselves. And I think tapping in through meditation, through developing a softening of the conscious mind and a rising of the unconscious, and then the blending of the two together, we create a situation where, as I was saying in the class earlier, we are co-creating with our own creative unconscious, so that we aren't doing it all by ourselves. We are in contact with what it is that needs to be expressed. Each of us is a channel. We're here on this planet for some reason. Each of us has a life story and experiences that if we share with other people, we increase our understanding of what it is to be human. So when I listen to people work here in my classes, what I'm listening for is the gift that they're bringing, not just to themselves, but to all of us, the ways in which we come to understand our own common humanity more deeply.
Is there no right or wrong?
No right or wrong. Absolutely. I'm a firm proponent of absolutely no judgment. The one thing I do know, I've been a professional actor since I'm 15, if you aren't willing to fail, and fail big and loud and make a terrible mess of it, you're not going to get anything deeply creative at all.
Now, is that failing your own personal failing, or is that some director firing you?
I've been fired. I've been, I've had all of those
an audience
things done.
that says
yeah.
this or that. So
sometimes you make a mistake and you go, all right, that was the, you spend, I have friends who are writers who'll spend months going down a path in a story that leads to a dead end. And then they have to go back. You can see that as a failure. You can see that as a journey you needed to take to understand something deeper, that then you take back and choose another path to travel down. So I don't believe that there's actual failure. It's just be willing to risk and try something, and if you don't like where it takes you, see what you gain from it and take it somewhere else.
So where do you, though, get some strength? Because not all of us maybe be that strong that can, go on Broadway and close the next day and wake up and say, I'm going to make another show.
I think it's pure dumb stubbornness.
Okay, stubbornness is okay. That's a quality.
I'm of the belief that I believe in a creative universe. I believe that we're all here to create in some level. Some of us create misery in the world. Some of us create war and anguish. It is a creative process. So that said, I believe that it's our responsibility to get up every day and keep putting one foot in front of the other. Sometimes, when a show closes, I'm devastated. I go into huge, dark, gloomy depressions for a couple of days. I can't afford more than a couple of days at this stage of my life. It gets too bright. You pick yourself up, you go, what next? I had that experience. What have I learned from it? How do I build? That's, what's around the next corner. If you're willing to be open to the next possibility, something always shows up.
In life, do you think it's good to have and since actually we both come from a soap opera land, myself included.
It's a very particular world.
Life. But this is where I learned this word, and maybe you will appreciate it, confidant. You had somebody in your life who you could share your ups and downs with, and or what's going on, to help or not help.
Oh, I think it's really important to have that. It's why I love to work in groups, and I think the class situation is so beautiful, because we really, in a group energy or even in just a one-on-one energy, if it's a healthy confidant relationship, we raise each other up.
Yeah.
And, you know, I work with groups all over the world, and there's the power of what can happen in a group that is holding safe space for each other, because everybody's in the same boat. It's exponentially larger than anything I could ever create in a one-on-one. It just, you know, everybody in the room lifts everybody else up to the next place. But I do think that it's wildly important to be sure that you're working with somebody safe. And that safety is very, very individual. It's why when I started the class today, I asked everybody to make eye contact with somebody they didn't know. I know some people are here with partners. Someone you love is not necessarily the safest person to share something this open with. In a very loving way, they may give you criticism. And criticism isn't what is asked now. With artistic work, burgeoning artistic work, with that very tender voice that is coming forward, what's needed is the holding of safe space and the willingness to simply receive and to let the power of what's finding its way out be expressed.
Tell me about you have a website, and you were so kind to say the meditations will be on your website, be shared again, as well as the Omega Institute here. Tell us about, you know, how people can get closer to you.
The website is relaxandwrite.com, and it's all spelled out, RELAXANDWRIT. On it, there's some videos. There's videos of me teaching. There's videos of me explaining how the process works. There's some testimonials. Right now, as the moment we're speaking here, there is a free download of a longer meditation than the one that I actually do now. It's very comprehensive. It runs about 35 to 40 minutes. But in the next couple of weeks, there will be a series of these shorter meditations. Omega has been very generous and allowed me to tape the meditations that we're doing here. They will be up on the Omega website for free download, and they will be on the Relax and Write website for free download as well. If you're interested in contacting me, you can reach me through the website at relaxandwrite.com. It's Maia at relaxandwrite.com. MAIA, the unusual spelling.
This is really, really, this is the moment, and I've never said this, but I feel it, and I've felt it before, but I've never said it, but this is the moment that I wish my audience was 7.5 billion people.
Oh, thank you so much.
Because your sharing of allowing somebody to be free, to be who they are, and supporting them in that manner, I think is, you know, we should go right to higher politics and all kinds of other areas. But it's a really a beautiful thing, and you're so good at it. You're really very.
I have a real commitment to the authentic voice and to being authentic in the world. I think, and I think this is one small way to help people achieve that level of authenticity. And I think the world is a better place when people are more authentic in it.
And writing, I think, is you know, it's funny how so many said, you know, their finger hurt. My finger's hurting me. I haven't written in about, you know, in spell check. And you said, forget about these spell things, and so, you know, to a degree, at least when you're finally sharing yourself, right? I mean, you have pencils here.
Right.
I think nobody said it, but I think some people were looking. This is a pencil. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely, and I'm always so grateful these people show up, so open and so willing to share of themselves. I'm very fortunate. I get to play in a very special world with a lot of very special people.
There you go. We are as well. Last question I always ask: what's good news for you?
Good news is that I'm here at Omega, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world. That I get to be. I'm on my way off to meet my newest granddaughter, who was born 2 weeks ago. I now have 4 grandchildren, which is one of the greatest miracles imaginable. And life is good. Life is good.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.